Question. It's been an MVP year for Cam Newton, who's certainly having fun on this run, enjoying the moment, the big stage, and silencing his critics. Too bad they don't make Band-Aids for feelings. Cam set career best this season in TD passes, interceptions, and QBR while taking his #1 offense to the Super Bowl. Stephen A., what are you seeing from Cam now that you haven't seen in years past?
Well, Skip, Molly, what I'm seeing right now is a guy that I think wants it all. It's not just the championship. It's very, very rare that you see somebody wanting to be the face of the National Football League and believing that he can pull it off. That's what I'm seeing from Cam Newton more so than anything else. We're seeing somebody that's transcending the game of football at the quarterback position and trying to take it to another level in terms of his dual capability. Certainly, we've seen other quarterbacks who could run and throw, but we've rarely seen a quarterback who literally has running plays called for him and are running over linebackers in the midst of completing 67% of his passes like he did last week. This past Sunday against Arizona, or what was it? 72% of his passes in their win over Seattle. This dude is running over linebackers. He's running over other folks. He's running into the end zone. He's somersaulting. You know, obviously the Superman pose and the dances and all of that other stuff really, really resonates with the fan base. He's got his players following him, his teammates. They're giving footballs to kids as well. But you just see so much synonymous with Cam, so much attached to Cam that it's something that you simply really, really can't ignore. When I'm looking at him right now, I'm seeing a guy that is trying to rival Brady, trying to rival Peyton, if not flat out overtake them as the face of the NFL. And he's doing it with this magnetic smile, to me, reminiscent and comparable to that of the great Irvin Magic Johnson when he was playing with the Lakers years ago during the Showtime era. What he's doing in the game of football right now, I think, is transcendent. And I think that a lot of people are gravitating. You still got people out there who hate on him, there's no doubt. And I think that he'll be the villain more than, you know, the hero in the weeks leading up to this Super Bowl. I stand by those previous statements because we're talking about him going against Peyton Manning, who is loved universally, first class family, etc. And because of all of that, everybody's rooting for Peyton, which they believe this, because they believe this is his swan song, this is the end. They're rooting for Peyton to go out on top. But outside of that, I think that Cam is setting the stage to be the face of the NFL for years to come.
So let me get it straight. So you're saying about Cam that it was premeditated, that he's on a mission to become the face of the NFL, like this is a goal of his, or it's just happening around him as he wins games?
I think it was a goal of his, but I don't think it was a goal, Skip, that started off at the beginning of the season. I think that as the season progressed and he sees the ride that he was on and the way a nation of football fans are gravitating towards him, it's almost like seeing that vision before your very eyes and saying, let me grab it while it's here. And I think that he has witnessed that opportunity, you know, just really swell before his very eyes, and he's going for it. That's what I believe.
All right, let me step back just for a second and try to put Cam's professional career in some perspective. I endorsed Carolina taking him with the first overall pick. My only question about Cam was his accuracy, because I hadn't seen consistent accuracy at Auburn. Yet, what I loved about him and what I continue to love about him is, after he got off to a bad start at Florida, had to leave Florida, he went to Blinn Community College, junior college, and won the national championship. And then he went to Auburn, as we all know, and he won the national championship. And now he is on the verge of winning his first Super Bowl as the season-long MVP and a probable odds-on Super Bowl MVP. He is a born winner. But we've talked about this many times in little dribs and drabs over the last 5 years. I thought the worst thing that could have happened to Cam were those first 2 pro games. Remember the first 2 right out of the box? He throws for 422 at Arizona, 422 yards, and backs it up by going home to play against your man Aaron Rodgers and throws for 432. 422, 432. Now, they lost both games, but it was so sensational that a lot of us sat back and said, uh-oh, he has arrived. This guy is going to be that guy right away. And as you know, since those first 2 games, we're going back 5 seasons,
Yep.
He's never come close to throwing for 400 yards again. And in these 5 years, only 9 times has he gone over 300-plus yards. Wow. Well, he fell back to where he was going to be. And then you and I talked about those first couple of years. He struggled as the leader of the football team. Did we not talk about it again and again on this show? When they were losing, he would still try to do Superman, and we'd both say, well, you can't do it then when you're behind by 21 points or whatever. And then he appeared to me to sulk occasionally, put the towel over his head and separate himself from the team. And this year, for the first time, now they got off to a great start. If I can just put it in as simple terms as I can say it, he just grew up. He matured right before your very eyes. He figured out how to do it on the field and on the sideline and in the locker room. And that team believes in him. Natural-born winner already, but his style finally infected the whole team in the most positive way possible because he became their guy, their leader. He didn't separate himself anymore. Now, again, winning clears the air, but he is a great winner. He's a great, I mean this in the most positive way. Cam is a great front runner because he just keeps building momentum and having more and more fun. And I think some of us who sat back and said, wow, can you go that far with that lengthy of a celebration as the franchise quarterback? I just see pure joy from him now. He's having so much fun winning football games that it's contagious. It's contagious for the audience. It's contagious for his teammates. And now he's found his comfort zone. He is Cam Newton now. He's that guy who won the championship at Blinn and at Auburn, and it's working on the pro level. And if you will, one last thing. It looked to me like those first couple of years, they were trying to make Cam throw more over the top, more pro style from the pocket. This year, especially, if you watch him, he's pure Cam. He's a little sidearm from the pocket, and he throws off his back foot. He just kind of, he just flings it. And you know what? It is deadly accurate. So I think he's been so accurate this year because I think Cam finally figured out, I'm going to do it my way. And his way is a great way. So I'm seeing him sort of come to grips with how to be a leader and how to be a devastating pocket passer, as well as all you just said about the ability to run the football.
Well, it's also helpful that he's got one of the top-notch running attacks because they've rushed for over 100 yards collectively
but he
31
helps
consecutive games.
Yeah.
But he helps that as well. Definitely, he brings that to the table, and obviously that defense getting, being turnover, they make turnovers happen. So because of that, that gives them good field position as well, along with their special teams, and that facilitates them being the #1 offense in the game because they put up points because of the kind of field position that facilitates it. But I guess when I'm looking at Cam and I'm thinking about the first year, his rookie year, he passed over 4,000 yards. And then there was a precipitous drop. Maybe not precipitous, but he went from 4,051 to 3,869 to 3,379 to 3,127 last year. And now he's back up. He's thrown for 710 yards more this year than he did last year. So he deserves a lot of credit for that. They collectively deserve a lot of credit for that. But again, all of those things, winning helps, and we get all of that. But it's one thing to go out there and to do your job and to do it effectively and to bring attention to yourself because of it in that regard. But you just look at him, and he seems on a mission to take over the NFL.
He does.
That's what you see. He's not just trying to win. He's trying to change the imagery because if you remember, on many times, on many occasions, we've talked about it. There's been several, a couple of exceptions, whether it's the Michael Vick, it's the Donovan McNabb before him, it's the Colin Kaepernick after him or whatever. But primarily when you talk about who's being promoted in this league, it was Brady. Of course, it was Manning. To a lesser degree, it was Drew Brees after he won his Super Bowl, etc. Now you're seeing that it's Cam. And to me, that's something that you have to look out for because in a roundabout way, his friend Steph Curry and he appear to be a lot alike in this respect. As the lights shine brightest, they seem to excel even more.
I agree.
That's what this is about right here, and that's what I think we need to be mindful of.
Well, I agree with your premise about taking over the league. I think he's well on his way.
Yes, so
and
do I.
just me, this is my 2 cents from my chair that I'm sitting in. Cam is is more personable and I think ultimately more lovable than either Brady or Peyton. That's just me.
Seems much warmer.
He's just more open, warm. It's lovable. It's like you can't. He just pulls you in.
It's contagious.
The
I agree with
smile.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that about Brady.
Okay.
Peyton, I'm not so sure
Maybe.
because
I don't know.
Peyton is hilarious. I
Yeah.
mean, I watch
He's got
Peyton on
dry
Saturday
wit.
Night Live
Yeah.
and some of his commercials and stuff. I mean, Peyton's got a personality. So I don't know about Peyton, but I do believe that about Brady.
Yeah. Boy, it's a close call.
It's close.
Just
It's
me.
close.
I find Cam much more fun than Peyton. That's just me. And
Yeah,
I get it. If you
sure.
write jokes or if you give him the nationwide commercial,
Right.
he can act out the jokes very well, very effectively. But I don't think he's personally captivating the way Cam
Right.
is just
That's
personally
fair.
captivating.
That's
Yes.
fair, but I think Peyton would do a better job on Saturday Night Live than Cam. That much I will say.
Well, maybe we'll find
do.
out pretty soon.
Yeah, speaking
Maybe
of
we'll
Saturday
find out
Night
in
Live.
about a month or two,
Yeah,
right?
we just saw Ronda
Yeah.
Rousey on there. I watched
Yes,
that
we
this
did.
weekend.
So
All
did
right.
I.
That #1 on his jersey, though, very fitting. And in just 5 seasons, Cam already has rushed for 43 touchdowns, tying our Steve Young as the most in the Super Bowl era. So impressive. LeBron and his new head man, Tyronn Lue, celebrated their first win together last night. But David Aldridge doesn't think it's all water under the bridge for King